Why are women suddenly interested in men after finding out they're married? I have been with my girlfriend for a while, but now that I'm married to her, it seems many more women, both those I know and those I don't, are more interested in me. I've been taking care of myself, exercising, focusing on self-care, and making a good living, six figures, for a while, even before marriage. It just seems that now more women are interested in me and begin to flirt. I'm old enough to understand the difference, and my wife is starting to notice it as well. Thoughts? Story 1. That's called mate poaching. Your wife did the work vetting you, and other women want to swoop in without doing the work. Stay away from those women. This post reminds me of Grand Theft Auto 5 Radio. DJ Kara. It's a shame women won't date men who live with their mom, but will date a man who lives with his wife. Grand Theft Auto Radio lady. Give me tonight. Story 2. You have been vetted by the in-group, so you have social proof, and you are also considered safe as a target fantasy since you cannot ethically respond to their advances. Therefore, they feel freer to flirt. It's strange and messed up, but that's how it is. Story 3. You are now the limited edition that someone else has. Don't fall for it, though. The kind of girl who will chase you once you're married is the kind of girl who, once she gets you, will start looking for the next thing she doesn't have yet. Story 4. Companies are more likely to hire a candidate they do not know if that candidate is already working for another company and has passed their vetting process. Story 5. I did have a thought about this recently. I think part of it is that they like to be flirty and more open with guys, but they are concerned about single guys being attracted to them. Married guys are usually less of a concern. Story 6. See, people keep saying this, and I haven't had a single woman hit on me, probably because I'm ugly. Laughing out loud. Story 7. Okay, so my ex-husband didn't understand that these women are of low quality who are doing this. It's literally like the movie Mean Girls. They see your wife has someone treating her well, and she seems happy. They want what she has. It's not about you. It's about your wife and women playing games. Your wife has created status for you. What a lot of guys do, like my ex, is get a big head and maybe have an affair. They don't realize that as soon as they mess it up with the wife, the reason they are getting this attention will go away. The women doing this are not quality people and will not continue to be interested in you if they receive your attention. Don't be foolish. Buy your wife some flowers and see it for what it is. An ex-wife who still receives apologies from the husband who now sees where he went wrong, after it's too late and the damage is done. Story 8. Others have covered the usual reasons in the comments, but there's another group of women who like being with married men for a specific reason. Guys will also pursue married and newly divorced women for the same reason. There's a lot of oxytocin release in those circumstances. Story 9. It's probably not so much that you are married as you are now in a good place in life and not seeking, which makes you appealing. If you are physically attractive to women, have a good career, are fun to be around, and not desperate, that's like the recipe for attracting interest. The fact that you've proven to be a good partner is also probably a bonus for some women. Women want physical attraction, a stable and fun partner, and life security. If you are checking all those boxes, you barely need to look. Story 10. Because women want what they can't have. In this case, you're perceived as a non-creepy guy they can't have, so they really want you. Happens every time I get into a relationship or even just go out with my girlfriend in public. I get so many looks. It's nuts. Story 11. Because even though women today have a wide range of methods to test and verify men's identities, they generally struggle at selecting men and often want those whom other women have already approved. Story 12. Welcome to hypergamy. No one should do this, but if a single man were to buy a ring and then just read a book at a coffee shop or bar, they'd appear. It'd be funny if it weren't grim. Story 13. Maybe they want to flirt with you for the fun of it, not because they want a relationship, and it's a harmless way to do it because they know it will not lead to anything. Story 14. You've changed some also. You're likely content and generally happy. That is attractive. You're hopefully not flirting or staring or making women feel objectified, which is attractive. Being a decent person who treats women with kindness and respect is a far more powerful attractor than catcalling and ogling. Story 15. Flirting doesn't mean they want to take it further with you. Interpreting flirting as "she wants to sleep with me" is a leap that too many guys make, leading them to take it too far. For women, this can lead to undesirable consequences such as obsession, stalking, sexual harassment, and sexual assault. It's often not worth the risk of flirting with a single straight man for this reason. Straight women often flirt with other women, with gay men, and sometimes with married straight men because the perceived risk of it being misconstrued is much lower than with a single straight man. Flirting is a nuanced and slightly sexually charged interaction that can leave both people feeling more desirable and confident. It doesn't have to mean more than that, and as a married man, women are likely counting on you to understand that, or at least not take it into inappropriate territory even if you don't fully grasp the implications. Most women who are flirting with you have a line they don't want to cross, which is probably slightly above flirting, for example, being overly sexually suggestive, and well below kissing or prolonged physical contact. Story 16. I think many women know you're happily married, so they feel more comfortable playfully flirting with you as entertainment and a way to pass the time. Some might just want to be the temptress to see if they've still got it. If you reciprocated and tried to take them to a hotel room, they'd likely consider you inappropriate and creepy. Just enjoy the attention and confidence boost and move on. Don't overshare with your wife. If it keeps happening and you keep sharing, you're going to make your wife worry and be in a constant state of low-level insecurity. Story 17. Potential counterpoint here. Some people like to flirt. Full stop. If you are happily married, perhaps you are safe to flirt with without the messiness of assuming it is an invitation for more. Story 18. They're not. Because you're safe, meaning you're taken and not a potential mate, they feel able to let their guard down around you. It's not flirting. It's how women naturally act. But now that you're not potentially trying to pursue them all the time, they've let their guard down around you. Still a privilege, women feel safe around very few men. Story 19. My husband and I work at AutoZone, and all the girls that fawn over him is ridiculous. Even the studs show him love. Like, enough already, but in all honesty, it's even. Story 20. Women often want what they can't have and desire what another woman has approved. Female Psychology 101. Story 21. Something I have often read is that when women show any level of kindness or friendliness towards men, it often gets misinterpreted as attraction. Maybe being married gives men the impression they don't have to worry about making that mistake because you're off the dating market. Story 22. It's the lioness effect. You've been pre-selected as a solid leader, and now they want to join your pride. Story 23. A couple of reasons. First, you're now clearly in a relationship, especially if you wear a wedding ring. It means the hard part of vetting you has been done by someone else. You have been determined to be a desirable partner. It streamlines the process of dating if you know the other person isn't an axe murderer, right? Second, it's a competition thing. If you engage with these other women, you're effectively choosing them over your wife. Thus, they win. Story 24. Marriage is an important part of getting ahead. It lets people know you're not homosexual. A married man seems more stable. People see the ring and think that at least someone can stand him. Women see the ring and know you must have some money or that you are sexually competent. Story 25. I've realized there's a much different way I carry myself and approach the world than when I was single and sorry for myself. Story 26. Another woman has confirmed your value as a partner after doing the hard work. Alternatively, you are seen as safe for a one-night stand or an affair and will stay quiet and likely not become too attached. Story 27. Women are interested in me now that I have a female friend, and we look like we might be a couple. Before this girl showed up in my life, no one talked to me at all. Now that she's always around me, many women are interested in me or want to talk to me. What is happening? Story 28. They are not interested in you, you just feel safe to be around now. Do not conflate friendliness with sexual interest. Story 29. Maybe you are also good-looking? I am married, work out, and make 6 figures, and no one flirts with me. Not complaining though, happy with my family. Story 30. The same reason men want porn stars. You've proven you can do the dirty. Don't let it go to your head. It's all aspirational, and that attention doesn't mean they would put more effort into a relationship with you now than they would have previously. Story 31. My husband was usually ignored by women at his job as a low-level manual laborer. Once we got together, all I had to do was help him find slightly better work clothes, like cargo work pants. Just better pants. That was it. Women started talking to him. My husband said they could sense my presence. Story 32. A lot of people have already noted that a married man is vetted, but I want to highlight the other half. A married man is most likely to be more confident, dress better, be more put together, be more communicative, and most importantly, not trying too hard to attract a woman. All of these traits are very attractive to women, which makes it more likely they're attracted to the married man. Story 33. They're not really interested. It's more that they are comfortable and not standoffish. Often, women feel like they need to play down their natural kindness because men get the wrong idea and think they are flirting. But once they encounter a married man, they assume he's committed and therefore won't misinterpret their actions. So, they feel free to be more flirtatious and engaging with him. Secondly, some women really do like the idea of flirting with a forbidden man. Thirdly, there's the concept of social proof. Since one woman finds you kind and attractive enough to marry, you must be a safe man who's good to be with. This makes you more attractive than if you were the exact same person but single. It's one of those three, possibly a combination of all of them. You are safe to be flirtatious with, and she doesn't worry that you'll get the wrong idea. She kind of loves the danger and taboo nature of flirting with a married man. And since this other woman finds you safe, she's less worried you are going to follow her home. All of this is irrational, of course, but it's just the thought process. Story 34. I don't wear a wedding ring, and things haven't changed at all. Just take the ring off and watch them ghost you again. Story 35. They're not more interested in you. They're more comfortable being around you because they no longer view you as a predatory male. Story 36. Because women are timid, they didn't want to risk anything. Not even your relationship or their fantasy of you, by making things real. Now that you are married and unlikely to act on them, they will inform you about what you could have had. This is the good faith interpretation. Bad faith? If you do break your marriage over this, they would feel much more desirable and validated. Key takeaways. 1. Women are cautious, more likely to be vain. What is the right move for women to make? Do nothing, say nothing. What benefit does a committed guy get from knowing you had or do like him? It's disrespectful. You didn't want him when he was single, so you don't want him now. Story 37. A lot of women like the idea of being so attractive that a man would cheat on his wife for them. Women are also attracted to men that other women find appealing, for the evolutionary reason that their children would have half-siblings, which is considered an advantage, and that their sons would presumably be attractive like their father. Story 38. Are you sure they are flirting? Most women just feel safe to relax around married men because presumably you are not going to try and have sex with them. This can be easily misunderstood as flirting. Story 39. This happened to me too. Ironically, after I got into a serious relationship with another man, I got into amazing shape. He helped me with my confidence, and my career started to take off as well. That was probably part of it. Story 40. Because you represent the qualities they're looking for: commitment and stability. It's a wild ride of inconsistent men who love to lie and not live up to the standards that the average woman has, so they start to look in places where they can see those traits. It's not a good system, and it's not necessarily simian trucking trying to steal you. But the flirting is nice. Story 41. It happens. It's a thing for some women, a kink for others. I viewed it as very flattering. Some of the attention came from former dates. It's a mystery. Don't mess up what you have. Story 42. A few things come to mind. You now have the stamp of approval from another woman. You are most likely very relaxed around other women since you have a wife, and you're the epitome of not trying. Story 43. It's a cognitive phenomenon known as pre-selection. It's the same reason car dealers still list cars and realtors still list sold inventory on their websites as sold. The basic idea is that someone else determined you were a great deal and acted accordingly. This means someone else did the research and vetted you. This saves energy. It implies you are a good choice. Story 44. Because you're a safe bet and for opposite reasons. Either you've been vetted by another woman and are evidently a good mate, or because you're taken, they can just have a bit of fun being playfully flirty without having to worry about things progressing past that point. Story 45. Skanky, horrible women do terrible things. A woman who pursues a married man is revealing her character to the world. Story 46. Chris Rock had a joke about this. When a guy introduces his new girlfriend to his friend, the friend will be like, "She's nice. I have to get a girl like her." When a woman introduces her new boyfriend to her friend, the friend will be like, "He's nice. I have to get him." Story 47. I had many people come out of the woodwork when I announced my wedding, but none after I got married, thankfully. The poaching idea sounds interesting and is likely the answer. Story 48. Because women operate in natural selection. It's the same reason why more girls show interest in you when you have a girlfriend than when you are single. They subconsciously think that because a girl is with you, you've already passed her tests. Since she selected you, you might be better than guys who are not with anyone. Story 49. Women like taken men. It's like if you hated something, but if your friends say it's good, you'll end up becoming interested in it. Story 50. Step 1. Be good looking. Step 2. Refer to Step 1. Married for almost 10 years. Not a single woman ever approached me or flirted with me. I have a mirror. My looks don't work on women. I can be charming and funny, but since I am married and have kids, I reserve that for home. So yeah, congratulations. A situation I cannot relate to. Story 51. There are 2 reasons. The threat of repercussions is less for a woman than a man. If a man hits on a married woman, the chances are greater than 0 that he could get knocked out or shot. It is also much more likely to happen to a man than to a woman, because many women have no honor. Story 52. The same thing happened to me. A girl who had been leading me along for 5 years and never made a move suddenly wanted me once I got into a long-term relationship. They want what they can't have, basically. Story 53. So funny. Go on a women's forum and every one of them will deny this happens. They really drink their own Kool-Aid. Congrats on the attention. Story 54. Some girls want what they can't have. I've had those experiences while dating as well, from female acquaintances who found out I had a girlfriend. Story 55. Laugh out loud. The age-old question. Some are suddenly attracted. These women like to take another woman's man. It's just how they feel they win. Some see you now as a man willing to commit, which they like and would now pursue. I don't understand these women. Some are just relaxed around you now because you're far less likely to try anything with them. Also, there's a type of confidence in knowing you're getting intimate again and likely soon. Single men often give off a vibe of desperation, which women can sense from a mile away, and it's very unattractive to them. Story 56. Women have always been interested. You just weren't able to notice. When a man is with a woman he truly admires, his belief that other women would want him increases. He literally has proof and validation in his woman. Also, his guard isn't up to impress the women he might otherwise want, allowing him to pay attention to them and see their behavior instead of overanalyzing his own. He often can't see a woman noticing him, even if she is, because he's blinded by his own thoughts. When you enter a relationship with someone you really like, you see everyone else differently because they don't matter. You're not worried about what they think or how they see you, so you can be yourself and see others more objectively. What drew in your partner will shine better for others. Men, go out and pretend you have the most amazing woman waiting for you at home. In your head, make yourself believe you have the perfect girlfriend. She's texting you. She admires you. If you can make yourself believe that and stop worrying about other women, you'll notice those who are interested more. The issue isn't availability. It's how critical we tend to be of ourselves when looking for someone. When we're able to let our guard down and just be ourselves, we're at our most attractive state. They call it not caring. Story 57. I always believed it is the confidence that people give out. This also happens with men who get into relationships. Don't get me wrong, it applies to women as well. People radiate confidence, and it is noticeable. Story 58. Seinfeld about that. Story 59. I'd like to hear some women's perspectives on the topic honestly. I think there are many women who seek affirmation from men, especially those who are married. However, I've encountered a similar phenomenon and I'm not married. I don't really have any way of advertising that I'm in a committed relationship when I'm single. I definitely get more attention from women when I am in a relationship, but also when I'm in the comfortably single phase. We give off a vibe when we're not looking for a relationship. It's counterproductive because it's a vibe of confidence and contentment, not of being unapproachable. We carry ourselves in a way where we approach and treat women like contemporaries and equals, not as a challenge or prize. I think that to many women, this demeanor is very attractive. They expect to either be respectfully rejected by a loyal, committed man, or to meet a single man who is in a good emotional place to pursue a meaningful relationship. Story 60. You've been vetted. Another woman has deemed you safe. There are many losers out there. Story 61. People are saying it's because of preliminary vetting, but I genuinely think the primary reason is that communicating with someone becomes low stakes when the chance is minimal that you'll enter a relationship because you're already in one. This makes you drop your guard and allows for more genuineness and intimacy, which some people might instantly move to flirting since they don't know how to manage non-romantic intimacy. Story 62. She has that, I want that too. It's quite messed up, if you ask me, based on jealousy and treating a person as something she'd love to own. Story 63. Because when you were still hunting, your interactions with random women were made in hunt mode, and their sixth sense detected that and made things awkward, or you made yourself awkward by worrying about it. Now you aren't hunting, so all your interactions with random women are completely natural, and they don't get the ick. For many women, their threshold is simply at the ick. And that's it. Many guys are so bad at interacting with women that most women get the ick from most guys. Thus, not giving the ick is rare and desirable. Add 6 figures to that, and they are going to obsess about you. Unfortunately, it is probably going to cause problems with your wife, so you need to be proactive often for the rest of your marriage, and constantly do things to help your wife see how much you love her. That is the only correct course of action for a moral life of marriage. Anyway. Story 64. Women want men that other women desire. If you're already a boyfriend or husband, it shows that you've been vetted by another woman enough for her to make you her partner. Thus, other women don't have to vet you as much. Story 65. It's a status thing. They see you having a woman, and they know you're worth something if a woman chose you. As for the motivations of why, there could be many. Some might want to have a married man. Some might want to see if you'll stay loyal to your wife. Others want the forbidden fruit. Story 66. I had an ex who hated when I would tell someone who was flirting with me that I was in a serious relationship. She said that saying that made me more desirable since it shows that I'm not only into being in a long-term relationship, but I'm also loyal. This was back in my 20s, but I assume the sentiment is probably still there with some women. Story 67. Absolute trash behavior from some humans. People often forget, whether it's the husband or those trying to steal him, how well do you really know your wife? What is she truly capable of when things go wrong? When someone tries to invade the territory she has worked hard to maintain. Or worse, when the man she loves thinks she'll never find out. Some women might become extremely aggressive with that other woman or nearly endanger both of you. I know you're not interested, but I'm just saying people forget this part. It's not only about the betrayal. It's about what your partner could be capable of when confronted with something so immoral. I'm not even married to my boyfriend, but we've experienced situations like this twice in the past 3 years. Right in front of me, these women disrespected me and tried to get my boyfriend's attention with no regard for my feelings. The first time was at a party, and I didn't want to ruin the vibe. Plus, she was unattractive compared to me, so desperate it was obvious and pathetic. I decided to watch, smile, and laugh as she followed us for an hour, trying to dance with us while staring at him. It was bizarre. I love my boyfriend, but I'm confused that someone would act that way toward him. He's good-looking, but not exceptionally so. Women don't typically make moves on men like that. This makes me think she did it solely because she saw how attractive I was and felt threatened by my vibes, leading to jealousy. The second time, we were traveling, and I didn't want to end up in jail abroad. She wasn't unattractive, but I'm certain most would agree I'm more attractive. A cute girl, but you could see the desperation. She stared at us and, when we got up to leave, only talked to my boyfriend and his friends, ignoring me, and asked if they wanted to go to a party. Thankfully, they all declined. My point is, behavior like this infuriates me. To any woman reading this who acts like this, know that some of us become strategic and protective when you threaten a good relationship. You do not know what the girlfriend or wife is capable of. You do not know if she has any mental health issues that arise when provoked or what her temper is like. It's important to teach everyone involved a lesson. So, when a woman behaves this way, she should hope and pray that 1. The girlfriend or wife is passive. The girlfriend or wife might be upset but backs down because her partner is passive. The girlfriend or wife refrains from reacting because she has too much to lose. You are not easy to find. Story 68. This is pretty sad. Stick to the bounds of marriage, and if you decide on marrying more than one wife, I recommend you find widows and those who are poor, old, forgotten, and most in need of marriage. Story 69. Women figure that if another woman sees you as worthy, they will too. This happens to me when I wear my ring and doesn't when I don't. Story 70. Once I got married, I had a few women who never gave me the time of day, talking to me about their lives. I would just ignore them and go on with my day. I'm very good at making you believe that I'm paying attention to you, but in reality, I'm thinking of other things. Story 71. So technically, men on their own are not worth it, but once they have a mate, they become limited edition. Story 72. Don't ask a man this question. They are all getting it wrong. For most women, it's the same reason we are friendlier to gay men and very elderly men. It's because women feel it's okay now to be friendly to you. We wrongly believe a taken man won't misconstrue the friendliness as flirting. The issue is that a lot of women don't understand the male mindset and that you will still interpret a woman being friendly as flirting. Story 73. Same thing about divorce. I thought it would be the most embarrassing thing in the world and that I would be looked at as a reject. Nope, apparently I was vetted enough to be married. The rest doesn't matter. Story 74. Certain women are opportunists. There's a difference in relationships between being married and unmarried. We often talk about husbandly or wifely duties. You don't get the husbandly work in an unmarried relationship. These opportunists may also be insecure because when they're in a relationship, they can't confirm if their boyfriends or unmarried men have the potential to commit as husbands. This is why you might have fewer friends of the opposite gender. Married life is like a new beginning. It's not just a gateway for you and your partner, but also reveals your peers' real intentions about you, your partner, and your marriage. Story 75. It's an innate female mating behavior called preselection. Women find a man more attractive when other women find him attractive. That ring operates as a kind of proof of value. It also creates a chance for female-to-female competition, which many women enjoy, and lets women know that you have been approved by the female collective. Story 76. I think it's less about preselection, as many commenters suggest, and more that you've become a safe person for women to interact with now that you're taken. When I'm interested in a guy and find out he's taken, I lose interest, and so do all the other female friends I have. I believe men overestimate the number of women interested in pursuing married men. We have our guard up around single men because they usually try to hit on us and interpret our talking to them as reciprocation of their interest. So now that you're taken, women can be friendly and playful around you, just like they are with their female friends. I recently went to a wedding with my boyfriend, and he told me 2 of our mutual female friends were flirting with him. I was across the room watching the 2 women interact with him, and they were just drunk, being more playful and teasing. One even came to twirl me around and dance with me right after. The other had playfully danced with me earlier in the night. I told him they weren't flirting, just interacting with him as they do with me. He's also gotten closer to more women in our friend group since we started dating. That's because women feel safe to talk to him like they would to a woman, which allows them to form deeper connections. Story 77. As I got older and developed long-lasting relationships, I noticed a lot of women, especially from my past, trying to throw themselves at me. They basically hold off and have fun, and remember me as the option if their current situation doesn't work out. Now that I'm taken, There are no more second pick options, and it drives them insane. Story 78. Others here have explained it well. It boils down to the fact that your partner put a ring on you. You're seen as someone worth dating because someone dated you long enough to decide they wanted to marry you. In their eyes, it makes you a great prospect, and they don't care much that you're already taken. Add the human trait of wanting what you can't have, and you'll find women interested in you because you're married. Now, as a guy, I'll tell you this. If you're living a good life with your partner, if you love her, and plan on actively keeping that love alive and well, then don't give these other women any attention. These women don't love you. They desire you like they would desire an expensive Louis Vuitton bag. You're a commodity to them. Besides, how trustworthy would such a homewrecker be if you were to date them? To your wife, I assume you're a partner, someone she wants to spend her life with. Don't ever lose sight of that, especially if you want the same. Story 79. Like others have commented, it's pre-selection. You can find all sorts of articles on it by various outlets. You've been vetted and seen as a good, safe man to other women. Story 80. This is the way women are. Women want what other women have. The more beautiful your wife is, the more you will get hit on. Story 81. Men in relationships are more valuable and attractive to women for various reasons, including being pre-vetted and having confidence. Story 82. Why do buses only turn in 2s or 3s after you've been waiting a long time? Why does the queue you join always move slower than all the others? Same deal. Story 83. I had an unexpected transformation in my middle age. For years, I was insecure about my looks, thinking I was unattractive, so I can relate. Felt like scenes from a romance movie. It has ended, but I'm still trying to process it and believe that it actually happened. Story 84. I always hear this, and it's just a reminder of how unattractive I must be. The number of women interested in me post-marriage is exactly 0% different than it was pre-marriage. Story 85. The most widely accepted explanation is that of pre-selection. Being married means that not only were you found to be not repulsive, but that you are also trustworthy. Part of me suspects there's a competitive element, like wondering what's so special about her, but that leads to assigning unflattering motives to women, which I generally try to avoid. That being said, you're asking why women act a certain way. I don't know if I'm comfortable offering a definite answer for why women behave the way they do. We all have our suspicions, but if you really want an answer, you may want to risk the criticism you're likely to encounter. Story 86. The moment the ring goes on the finger, it's a signal to single women that you're desirable. My wife warned me that it would happen, and I didn't believe her. I do now. Story 87. It's called mate poaching. Women will sometimes engage in this behavior because the man in question has already been vetted by another woman. It's interesting to read about the psychology behind it. Story 88. Maybe now that you're married, they are being nice to you. Sometimes, when you're a single man, you might take it the wrong way, thinking they are interested in you, so they stay distant. I tend to let my guard down when I know a man is married and his wife is right there, respectfully, of course. Knowing you're committed and have everything to lose if you cheat gives me a sense of security that you won't mess that up. Story 89. This has not been my experience, and it's fascinating to me why others seem to find it consistently. I had no trouble getting women when I was single, but now I notice women look at me with interest, see the ring, and lose interest. I'm polyamorous, so I wish it was the other way, but it's not. Story 90. I improved my life in every way to keep my wife. Now women are interested in this better version of me. How can this be? He became more confident and attentive to himself and doesn't understand why that's attractive to women. Higher income, better looks. What's not to love in this economy? Story 91. You've demonstrated the single most important attraction trigger in women. A willingness to pay attention to them. Story 92. Now that you're married, they see you as marriage material. They didn't know that for certain until you got married. Also, women might be more friendly because they see you as married and think they don't have to worry about you hitting on them or being creepy. Often, when women are cool, funny, and relaxed, a guy thinks they are flirting or showing interest. Maybe they are just more comfortable around you than before you were married. Story 93. Reading all these comments makes me A divorced man. Seriously consider putting my old wedding ring on the next time I go to the bars. Story 94. Are you sure they are flirting? Or do they feel safe enough around you to make lighthearted comments? Story 95. Limited edition man that can function versus man on Instagram or clubs. Yeah, I'm not mad at you, girl. Still sleazy on the girl part. Story 96. 1. You've proven yourself to be relationship material. You've been vetted, so all the lazy women who want to take shortcuts want to poach you. You're successful, which is an attractive feature. Story 97. Like everything I post here gets flagged for trying to figure out a group's or specific person's motives. And yet this flies? Story 98. Could be that women like that want an ego boost by attracting someone away from their spouse, competing with the spouse. Story 99. The concept is called preselection. Women want what other women want because it signifies you're a worthy mate. Story 100. It's not just about being married. I go out with my female friend. Many times people think we are dating, and the women tell my friend she is lucky and that I am cute. This never happens without her. There's something about being around women and feeling safe that lets them do more. There's a lot of danger for women, and if you aren't threatening, they can be themselves more and don't have to worry about the consequences. If you want to meet women, have a female friend with you, and don't worry too much. They'll naturally come to you. Story 101. There is the idea of evaluating a man. It takes time and effort to determine if a man is a good relationship prospect. However, if he is currently in a relationship, then that means his partner has evaluated and approved him as good relationship material. The more committed the relationship, the better the man. Story 102. It's called preselection. A woman decided you were a good enough catch to commit to, so other women want to find out what's so great about you. Another aspect could be women interested in a quick fling or one-night stand who find you attractive. They assume you are safe because you're married, making it less likely you have sexually transmitted diseases and unlikely you'll want anything serious with them. Story 103. You're probably more confident, relaxed, and positive to be around now that you're nourished by your relationship. When we feel good, we tend to interact with the world in positive ways, and people want to be around others that make them feel good. This will especially affect acquaintances who simply enjoy your company and don't know you're married. This is by far the most likely reason, in my opinion, and it affects any gender. You probably talk to them like they're actual people, rather than prospects. Your conversation will be more respectful and your company more engaging. You talk freely without anything to prove. In turn, they will see you as a person too, which is far more compelling, rather than a single man and whatever baggage they put on that. This will affect acquaintances, but also any women frustrated with dating who see your respect as a relationship goal they can shortcut towards. You've probably demonstrated you're safe via your long-term relationship. Many women are broadly wary of men, especially single men. Your wife is a stamp of approval, especially if you talk positively about her and demonstrate how you care for her. Women are attracted to that and want to be treated that way. Even if they intend to respect your relationship, it might still affect how they treat you subconsciously. But the worst ones will project their fantasy onto you, especially if their current or prior relationships are unsatisfying. They might believe they're better than your wife, the person you love, and compete to win you. Story 104. It is the same for men as well. Men enjoy having sex with another man's wife not because they enjoy it more or are in love, but because they enjoy beating another man, ego, and competition. Especially women or men who are insecure will want to poach someone else's mate to stroke their egos. Story 105. If you are married, it usually means the following. 1. You have some money. You know what you are doing in bed. You are stable in a non-threatening way. Story 106. Indeed, the phenomenon you're describing aligns closely with social and evolutionary psychology. Being married is like having a human seal of approval stamped on your forehead. It subconsciously signifies to other women that you're a high-quality partner since another person has thoroughly assessed your attributes and deemed you worthy. This preselection suggests you have the qualities necessary for a stable relationship, which on a primal level is a huge plus for attraction. Additionally, when you're married, you're no longer part of the dating game. This effectively removes any underlying agenda from your interactions with the opposite sex, resulting in a more genuine and relaxed vibe. It's similar to when someone becomes famous. They suddenly become more attractive because they're perceived as valuable and sought after. And of course, there's the forbidden fruit aspect. A married man is technically off limits, which could make the thought of an affair tantalizing for some. This boils down to desirability by association and the allure of what's just out of reach. Not to say this is an honorable or intentional strategy by women, it's just a quirky facet of human social dynamics. Story 107. They think of your marriage and your wife as personal challenges to conquer. I hope your wife drags them by the hair and gives them the beatdown they deserve. Story 108. My perspective. I've been in a relationship all of my adult life, and I don't view women like I did when I was a virgin, beacons of moral good and love. They are just as imperfect as me, so my interactions with them became more real and human. I took them off the pedestal and allowed more connections to form. Story 109. No need to be married. When I'm single, sometimes it can feel like a desert. However, once I'm dating or in a relationship, women become more interested. Going out with female friends or talking to women when out attracts more women around you. I think it's a bit of a preselection bias. If women are around you, it's for a good reason and they become curious about why. Story 110. I had the same thing happen. I heard the question, why didn't we ever date before? From several women friends after a year or two of being married. It's somewhat infuriating if you had a crush on them before, but they didn't really consider you an option at the time. Trying not to respond with the truth was difficult. Saying something like, well, you're older now and your values have changed to wanting everything I've always been, is not something I think would go over well. The reality is, even if I were single, I wouldn't entertain the idea of dating most of them anymore. They all have a lot of baggage, gained a lot of weight, and would be looking to skip right through the honeymoon phase so we could have a kid. I'm the same guy but massively improved in every way in my 30s. I wouldn't blow my advantages on someone like that at this point. Story 111. It's good if your wife is a little bit jealous. It shows her that she made a good choice that other women want, but she has that. Other women are interested in you because you have demonstrated that you are capable. Since you are not interested in them, you don't come off as desperate. You succeeded, enjoy this. Story 112. There's a line from Alec Baldwin's character in The Departed that sums this up pretty well, even if it's a little crass. Marriage is an important part of getting ahead. It lets people know you're not homosexual. A married guy seems more stable. People see the ring, they think at least somebody can stand him. Ladies see the ring. They know immediately you must have some cash or you must work. Story 113. Another woman has vouched for you by marrying you. Women's biggest turn-on is cheating. When I got married, women I had known for years who never gave me the time of day before wanted to be with me. It's extremely common. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.